Hi, I'm Jeff Hornsby. I'm the General Manager for EMEA, and I'm here today to speak to Warren Hero, who's the CIO at Webber Wentzel. So, Warren, welcome today, and if you could introduce yourself, please, that'd be great.
Thank you for the opportunity to have the conversation. As Jeff indicated, my name is Warren. My surname is Hero. It's all an aspiration, nothing else. And I've been working for the Wentzel for the past 2.5 years.
Thank you. I think Webber Wentzel is one of the sort of oldest firms in South Africa. I think you've got about 150 odd years. And before you joined, can you talk about a little bit about what you were doing with Microsoft, please?
Yes, Microsoft and I pursued each other for quite a number of years. I was the Chief Technology Officer for South Africa and ended up doing quite a significant amount of work throughout the African continent. I was one of the individuals responsible for landing the first cloud data centers on the African continent. So really proud about that because, these cloud data centers will have such a big impact on development across the African continent because of being able to access next generation technologies like artificial intelligence, and even the fabric on which these data centers are based are next generation fabric. So that ability to use FPGAs and some of these other processing technology puts us in a position to create probably differential economic value on the African continent.
That sounds absolutely fascinating. So why did you move from Microsoft doing that sort of work into Webber Wentzel? What was the sort of reasons for joining, and what did you want to try and achieve? What do you want to try and achieve, I should say?
Well, absolutely, right. So a lot of people ask me that question. And even my boss said to me, we weren't sure that you would join us. At Microsoft, one of my primary responsibilities was to be able to show some pathfinder projects in terms of what digital transformation could mean for organizations, both in the public sector and the private sector. And for a while, as the capabilities of artificial intelligence improved, I had this aspiration to apply artificial intelligence to business problems, and specifically big data problems in businesses. And so with Webber Wentzel, I have two opportunities: the ability to digitally transform the organization with the executive committee and the board, as well as the entire partnership. And the second opportunity is to look at the entire legal process and to apply artificial intelligence at every part of the legal process. One of the seminal lessons that I learned when I was at Microsoft was that when we use a human in the loop with artificial intelligence, that there's significant performance improvements because of this human in the loop approach. So at Webber Wentzel, as part of our alternate legal service delivery processes, this is part of the focus of our artificial intelligence program.
Okay, so from what it sounds to me like, you're focusing on productivity and efficiency to drive, I don't know, should we call it more law per hour for your lawyers?
Yeah, we thought about that. A number of our clients, and I think it's a global trend, where clients are starting to move away from this billable hour, concept. And so as we looked at our own digital transformation, we were trying to conceptualize what an alternate business model or what a new business model would look like for us. And we realized our ability to be able to have the leeway to introduce the business in a bit, kind of like the new business model, we had to be able to deliver a degree of productivity improvement. And so we implemented digital capabilities end-to-end in some of our practices, like our corporate practice, to try and see if we could deliver the type of productivity improvement and efficiencies that would be needed so that we could give ourselves the room to then experiment with a number of business models. And in the corporate business, we were really successful because we were able to probably give back about 18 minutes in the hour to our legal professionals because of these productivity improvements. But ultimately, the thing that we envisage is that our newer business model will be much more value orientated and outcome orientated with our clients.
So I'm fascinated by what you just said, and I want to pick up on that. So you're telling me that you think you've given back effectively about 18 minutes in an hour to a lawyer because of what you've done. That is stunning. That is really impactful. So
Absolutely.
Tell me, I mean, what was the design thinking behind that? How did you get to deliver that? Because that's the secret sauce I'd like to see if we can focus on.
Hopefully, I won't give away too much of the secret sauce, but I'll talk about the process. The first thing is that we looked at their core process, and they do these large regulatory submissions, to trade councils. And the thing that we focused on is their core process, and their core process, which are these large regulatory submissions, used to take them in the region of about 7 months to do. And we then looked at that process, and we realized that a lot of the process was due to data entry, was due to trying to get the right people in the room so that the right people could have a conversation so that the process could be moved forward. And so therefore we realized that, hey, the ability for people to consume the same document at the same time, potentially collaborate on that document at the same time, and then also arrange blended meetings where some people could attend virtually and other individuals could attend remotely, but also being able to do that so synchronously and asynchronously because of some of the recording capability, we were able to move from 7 months down to 3 weeks. The other aspect was to be able to, using our document management platform, iManage, was to be able to ensure that we created the right structure, in the folders so that individuals understood exactly how to progress a matter through the folder structure. And working with our knowledge management team, we then made sure that we could introduce aspects of legal project management. And so the knowledge repository being iManage, plus the legal project management, plus the process aspect, plus the collaboration aspects, we were able to take it down to 3 weeks. And so now what they can do with, having gone from 7 months to 3 weeks is to find the opportunity for further process improvements. And one of the things that we found is the ability to give more value back to our clients because of being able to now do more detailed work and not to be concerned about the data entry and the data analysis. Those are some of the things that has had a significant impact. And part of the conceptualization was, we used to work on 2010, and I think it was mostly, some Windows 10, but Windows 7. And so we conceptualized the ability to literally change the entire image for a legal professional. And in changing that image, we moved to iManage 10, as part of the image in terms of the user interface, a newer version of Express Docs, a newer version of Compare Docs, but ultimately Windows 10 with Office 365 to essentially offer that collaboration capability, but fundamentally as our repository of record to use iManage then to drive the interaction, with our clients, but also internally in the organization.
So if I get this right, what you've done is you've moved the firm from an older version of iManage 9 at the client to iManage Work 10 simultaneously as moving them to Office 365. How long did that take? Because you're a big firm. How long did that take you?
Yeah, we are quite a big firm, right? Initially we were planning it for 12 months, for 12 months duration, but our information security, or rather our technology advisory committee, asked if we could accelerate it. And this was literally just before, the COVID pandemic hit. And when COVID hit, part of what the advisory committee suggested is that we try to accelerate the rollout in order to get more benefits so that people that could work on specifically the new iManage client could have that flexibility without the VPN. Because with the older clients, individuals had to VPN in, and then with the VPN, if you were a bit of an iffy connection, because we still have a lot of last mile problems, in our neck of the woods in terms of connectivity, that ability then to do no VPN because of Office 365 and some of the other multi-factor authentication options we introduced improved our security posture, but gave our fielders the ability to then to work more flexibly because of not requiring a VPN, because of the additional multi-factor authentication.
So you've managed to combine, moved from 9 to 10, moved to Office 365, do it in 4 months and get better security. You should definitely be patting yourself on the back. That's quite impressive. So let me ask, yeah, very good. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How do you find the two, I think from what you're saying, iManage and Microsoft together are better together and they dovetail in. I mean, we are getting closer much closer as an organization to Microsoft now, and I would say we're seeing huge improvements across both systems because of this closeness. Would you think this is a big factor?
Colossal factor, and I mean your partner, Cooperative Computing in South Africa. Part of the decision that we made is we wanted to see how iManage worked on Azure, right? Because of the fact that we took that step, with assistance from the Azure Fast Start team, there's a couple of things that we discovered. The stability of the environment, that ability, because of the way Azure works, the Azure the public cloud works, and as well as the fact that we were able to work with the Fast Start team with the native capabilities available in 10, and essentially design a highly available system. Because as you know, for a law firm, we're about the billable hour, and when we lose a billable hour, that time is gone, it cannot be recouped. So being able to be productive when we need to be productive, especially at month end, when we easily do about 90% of our revenue, becomes absolutely critical. So that stability it offered, one, absolutely incredible. The ability now, because of the ability to read an email into Outlook in Outlook and then file it into iManage, is one of those things that are absolutely valuable to our partners. Because once you've created the logic, that process then automatically continues. So that ability to create a template and then for the template then to pop consistently, essentially kick itself off, is our part of the benefits. Obviously, some of the new benefits with the Microsoft Power Platform and Power Apps further gives us the ability, for instance, to kick off workflows and to see that tight collaboration between Microsoft and the iManage platform.